Mauricio Sarri's Lazio really surprised a lot of people by finishing second in Serie A last season, and as they look to go and have a real stint and have an attack at the Champions League, they've been very, very busy in the transfer window. Milinkovic-Savis, he's been sent to Saudi Arabia for a bucket ton of money. Maybe Ciro Immobile might be following him out the door. That's still to be seen, but they've wasted no time at all. Lazio have been out in the market, and they've done a triple sweep over the last week or so, bringing in Ttay Cstellanos, who's been one of my favourite strikers to watch develop over the last 3 or 4 seasons. I'm really excited about this one. Gustav Isaksen, the wonder kid from Midtjylland, and also Daichi Kamada, the Europa League winning attacking midfielder from Frankfurt, has landed in Rome to sign up with Lazio. And I feel that this is probably the signal that this Lazio team should not be underestimated. And this year, for the Scudetto, I think they're looking pretty strong. Who knows how well they'll do in European football, because Sarri has always kind of struggled to wrestle with domestic and European commitments. But he's even struggled with that with stronger squads. But this Lazio team looks really, really exciting, and I'm looking forward to paying attention to them this year and seeing how well they can actually do. Italian football is really close to me, because when I was growing up, it was the first league outside of the UK that you could watch and you could kind of get attached to. And Lazio was a team that always went out and got talismanic flair players that you could just gravitate towards and really enjoy watching. Pavel Nedved, Juan Sebastian Ferron, Claudio Lopez, Hernan Crespo. There was Dejan Stankovic. There was lots and lots of them. They were so much fun to watch, and it feels like it's definitely not that golden kind of generation level, but there's a lot of fun here happening in Lazio, and I'm looking forward to breaking them down with you today at any point in the video. If you laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel. We're pushing for 10,000 subscribers, and we cannot do that without your support. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of Lazio for this season, and let's just get stuck straight into it. Now, they've actually, just before we come on to do the video today, they've actually announced that they're selling Luis Maximiano to Almeria, is going back to Spain. So even Provedel is very firmly the #1 goalkeeper now in Rome. And the back four that we've seen Mauricio Sarri deploy for Lazio last season and in pre-season already, very typically Sarri. We've got a couple of options, a few rotation pieces for fullback, like you would expect. There's a very typical flat 4-4-2. All the guys in defence do your typical job for left back and right back and all the rest of it. But we've got Cataldi as the main anchor. Centre defensive midfielder, plays virtually every game. Luis Alberto has also been kind of threatening to leave for a little while. He's on a lot of money, he's very highly rated, and, you know, he's maybe just waiting for his next move after Lazio. Nothing that major in Spain has happened for him yet, and with all this Saudi Arabia stuff, I wouldn't really rule it out. I could see him going to the Premier League. He'd be very suited to the Premier League for the right team, I would think, but it does feel like his time in Rome is numbered. Now, I'm not exactly sure where we're going to see Daichi Kamada come into this Mauricio Sarri midfield, but I would suspect it is going to be in the attacking midfield position, similar to like we've seen with like Zielinski at Napoli. He's a wee bit more final third present than like the Kovacic type that we've seen from him at Chelsea, and obviously wasn't really that successful at Juve to draw many kind of similar comparisons or whatever. But I would imagine that because the Cataldi position here used to be like the Jorginho role. It's very deep line defensive and is all about creating the ball. And this other job here is a real water carrier, just to go around and tackle and pass and link up the play kind of here, there and everywhere, which Vecino could be doing. I hope and expect it's going to be Marcus Antonio. Now, I'm not too sure if he's injured, but he's not been playing too much in pre-season. He has featured, so there is some rumours going around that maybe him and Sarri aren't seeing eye to eye, and that does worry me. So I picked up his card on So Rare. It doesn't cost much, but I've got high hopes for him. And this midfield, I think, would be pretty appealing for Serie A. Maybe not quite good enough for Champions League. But again, with Mauricio Sarri, you know what you get with the front three. You get pace and clinical finishing from Saccagni and Felipe Anderson. And Ciro Immobile is everyone's favourite Italian penalty box striker these days. But now they've got that extra strength and depth. Gustav Isaksen has just signed in from Midtjylland, and he gives a real young up-and-coming option to Felipe Anderson, who we know is one of the most hot and cold players in world football. So having a guy like Isaksen that can come in and push him, share the minutes, share the workload, and deliver something similar on the pitch, I think that is a great play from Lazio. And Ciro Immobile, who might not have much longer in the legs anyway, whether he gets transferred out, maybe he gets injured or something. The guy has had a series of injuries. But having Ttay Cstellanos in here, who's a very hard-working arrowhead striker who loves to press the front line and is very unselfish and very good in link-up play. He's a very capable deputy for me to Ciro Immobile, but I don't think you can just see him play here. I could see Castellanos even been played in one of these wide forward positions with the pace and the passing ability that he's got. I could see him being a real threat in Serie A in these wider spots, and definitely didn't do it in New York, but we've seen little bits of it in Girona. Was running in from the channels in these wider areas here, dropping a bit deeper to get some passing on the ball and then counter-attacking. So I think with Immobile being up there and ever present, Ttay could get some significant minutes in here. And again, you could even see something like this kind of roll out. Ttay Castellanos on the right-hand side attacking midfield. Maybe Isaksen could come in to maybe be a bit of rotation relief in the centre attacking midfield spot, depending on how Sarri rates him. And Zacagne, I think, is very firmly the left wing man here in this team. But Lazio are finally on a bit of momentum, because in Serie A, there is like a lot of really strong historical clubs, and so many of them have got highs and lows and peaks and troughs of success and turmoil in equal measure, that it can be really difficult to get a consistent vein of form going on. And we've seen Napoli do that, which was actually started a bit by Sarri, come to mention it. We've seen AC Milan, we've seen Atalanta, we've seen some of these clubs really try and capture that, the ones that aren't named Juventus or Inter Milan, over the last 5 or 6 years. And I think Lazio are really now starting to come into their stride in this transfer market, and really they've started to hone their squad and move it on into this kind of next generation. With them finishing second last year, it feels like they've only got stronger. Could Lazio win the Scudetto this year? I'm not so sure. I definitely think when I look at this squad, there is a lot of room for a lot more quality. Because looking at this midfield, Kamada is a good replacement for Milinkovic-Savic in a sense, but he's not a replacement for Milinkovic-Savic at all, you know, in one other sense. So I do feel that this midfield is a bit flimsy. Whether it's a huge upgrade on Cataldi, which I don't see, I think Sarri really likes him. I think it's more this playmaker spot here that could be upgraded on, or a new face could come in. Toma Basic has played in this position through pre-season, but he's been sold to Udinese. He's out there now. So that might open up another little spot for another midfielder to come in here. Someone a bit stronger, someone a bit more box-to-box. There has been some links for Zielinski to come to this Lazio team. He's also been linked to Saudi Arabia. Not too sure how that will pan out. I don't think Lazio will be holding their breath necessarily. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below about Lazio's prospects for the upcoming season. On screen there now is some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.